2005 proposal that was on the ballot. Don't go into too many details, but did that proposal that the voters rejected, did that not have a contest, competition, and so forth? How the voters really? I know this proposal was a little different, but didn't they basically say no to that by overwhelming margin?
Yes, indeed, and that's largely because there was only one criterion that was set forth, and that was competitiveness. And as the opponents of that proposal graphically demonstrated, that could create crazy-looking districts in which other values, like community preservation, are not adequately supported. In addition, representational fairness was not a criterion. We have learned from the failure of the Ron campaign, and we adjusted the criteria and the procedures of this competition and the means of selecting preferable plans on the basis both of what was good about that Ron proposal, but also what was deficient and needed to be corrected.
Representative Letson, do you have a timetable for this? It'd be pretty quick to get it on the May ballot. Are you shooting for the November ballot?
Yes, we are. This has been introduced today. It will have sponsorship testimony, I believe, tomorrow, and it will proceed through the committee docket. We're looking for it to be placed on the November ballot and successfully passed.
So Letson, are you?
Excuse me? Speaker Busick was instrumental in moving this forward. His staff, including Chris Glassman, who's here with us today, have worked for months going over the Secretary of State's previous competition, working with the League, working with Dr. Gunther and Ohio Citizen Action to try to come to this plan that has been introduced today. So yes, very definitely leadership has been involved and leadership endorses this.
So are you open to this idea of kind of merging the bills, resolutions, putting maybe the SJR board in with your criteria?
The focus of the two bills are slightly different. Senator Houston's bill focuses on who makes the determination, who draws the districts, and the House bill concentrates on how they're done with competitiveness, compactness, fairness. So the focuses are different. I can't say whether or not definitely they will not merge, but at this point I think this is the right one to move forward.
The Senate bill, the Senate resolution also affects congressional redistricting as well as legislative proportioning. Yours deals only with proportioning. Would you be open to including Congress districts there?
I would not be at this point. The intent on this is to take care of Ohio's General Assembly.
Why not include congressional?
Why include congressional? That is just
well, because there's the same arguments there that those would be gerrymandered to favor one party.
It is the argument, but this one concentrates on the General Assembly, and if we can take one step at a time, I think we might be able to get this one through.
Since the 1970s, every few years, the League of Women Voters or other groups come forward with a proposal, and they say, well, now's a good time because, and fill in the blank, never passes. What's different this time that the legislature is going to finally do something?
Well, I would have to take a look at possibly the day that we are in. As you have reported a number of times, there have been gambling issues on the ballot that have been rejected and rejected and rejected. And the citizens of the state of Ohio took a decidedly different turn in this last election. So possibly this is the right time to do this, given just exactly what I referred to.
Could I add to that?
Yes, please.
There is obviously one major political variable that makes this quite timely. Control of the redistricting board is far from certain at this point. There are 3 of the 5 positions that are very much open. In two cases where you've got incumbents who step down, one Republican and one Democrat, and therefore we're hoping that both parties are guessing and don't have an idea of who's going to win, and therefore would have an incentive to try to make it fair for both parties. This is not the kind of political circumstance that we've necessarily seen in the past, but I think it really is one that ought to be persuasive to both parties at this time.
Is the League of Women Voters endorsing this?
The League is endorsing a lot of the principles behind it. We've only had this for a short period of time, so we want to comb through it very carefully and make sure that we totally understand it. But certainly it has the same criteria in it that the contest did, and the good government goals that it's trying to get forward, the representational fairness, compactness, all of those goals are in there. So we need to make sure that it still, at the end of the day, balances those out. And what we see so far, we certainly endorse in principle.
One reason is,
Let me clarify, just if I might. There were some technical amendments and some other things that were just done today to the bill, so that if Ann has a copy of it in her hand, she probably hasn't even had time to read the heading on it yet. So it was just introduced at 10 o'clock this morning. It is largely the document that they've had a chance to look at, but I certainly wouldn't want them to give a blanket commitment to it until they are able to comb through it as you would want them to.
Is there any effort to work with the Senate Republicans to come up with a joint approach to this, or was this done mainly by the Democratic majority in the House?
This was done mostly by myself and by Mr. Glassburn and Speaker Budish, taking a look at the Secretary of State's competition, taking a look at Senator Husted's proposal, and working closely with the League, Dr. Gunther, and Ohio Citizen Action.